What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video in our YouTube series. Once again, sorry for my dog's feet clacking. He just refuses to lay down, and he wants to hang out right around my microphone, which is really cool. Anyway, in the last video, we did a little bit better on our menu system back here because it was kind of ugly. This is a little bit better. It's still not perfect. I'd like to make these bigger and change them a little bit and whatnot. But that's all like housekeeping stuff. We don't need to get too much into that. In this video, we're going to create a watch random video button. This video should go relatively quickly because this should be pretty easy. The way we're going to do that is we're just going to run a bootstrap button in, and then we're going to assign the video a link and make it really similar to when you click one of these. It's going to have very similar get variables to these, and it's going to be pretty simple since we're already cycling through. We can just generate a random number, pick one, put it in, and make it work. So let's do that right now. The way we're going to start on that is back in here. Now let me just close this stuff out. So that'd be in our public and in our public class, because that's where our functions are for our short codes. So down in load by date, if you guys remember right, last time we came through here, there's going to be a huge section commented out. This was our display box function that displayed those 6 block videos, and I actually created a new function called load by date. And load by date actually sorted all the videos by date. This was a problem originally where it just showed the videos as they were imported by the YouTube importer, and it's like if I deleted this video from the database manually and then re-imported it, it would show up at the very bottom of this list at the very end. And so in this, we don't want that. We want it to appear at the top, so that's why we did that. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to hook right here. Not hook, I hate to say that because we're not really hooking anything. We're just going to like tap, that's a little better, into this function and then add our stuff right here at the top. It's really easy. So what we're going to do is, as you can see right here in load by date, the first thing it does is it grabs all the posts of the vids. Well, that's pretty cool. So what we can do is we can tap right in and generate a random number based on this because we have all the posts, in which case it should equal 50. We could verify that by echoing out a count of this, but I don't think we even need to do that. So here's what we're going to do. It's about to loop through all the posts, as you see right here in this function where it says a for each. It's about to loop through and get them ready for sorting by date. Before it goes through to loop, let's do something crazy. Let's generate a random number. And by crazy, I mean not crazy at all. So let's generate a random number. And so this is pretty easy. We go randomizer, random mixer. Randomizer equals nothing at the moment. We don't need that. We're going to say random, I don't know what I want to call this, like random, because we have randomizer, and then let's say random video equals nothing. This is going to contain our video. Then we're going to have like, let's just say random count. And this count is kind of an unnecessary variable. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to say count, and actually we have it up there in numvids. Let's just use numvids because we actually need a count of all those posts, but we already did it above. So here's how easy we can do this. And actually it's kind of unnecessary even to put that up there upon thinking about it for a second. So what we're going to say is this. We're going to say randomizer equals, and what we're going to do is we're going to use a built-in PHP function called rand. And we're going to start at 0, and then we're going to use, since we have the count of the videos above, we're going to say numvids minus 1. Alright, so what that's going to do, really simply, is it's going to take numvids, which is getting the count of our post, which should be 50, and it's going to say from 0 to 49, because you have to remember, numvids is 50 minus 1 is 49. You have to remember, programming starts at 0. It doesn't start at 1, okay? So computers don't think that way. They start at 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's really 0 to 49, because 0 is an item itself. Okay, I know I've established this a few times, but I'm just establishing it again so that you understand. Arrays start at 0. They don't start at 1. So that's that. And I, in the beginning when I first started that, it could be confusing, but that's as simple as I can put it. So now we have a random number generated. Let's say the random number is 20, okay, or whatever. Well, now that we're cycling through right here and getting each post, we can do something really tricky, and by tricky I mean not tricky at all, which is check to see if the current video matches our random video. Oh, so simple. Why does this work? Because we are circling through each post of the 50, and we're upping an I count each time in order to create a new array out of it and everything. And so guess what we can do? We can tap right in here and say if I, well, we'd have to put an if statement first, wouldn't we? We'd have to say if I is equal, remember, two equals, not equal to, or otherwise it makes one equal to the other. If it's equal to randomizer, then guess what? If those are equal, that means that this is cycled through to number 20. Say our randomizer created a random number of 26. The randomizer equals 26. When I equals 26, we're at the post we want. So now all we have to do is build random video. And here's how we do that. Random video is that variable we set above. Well, guess what? We can now do something pretty easy, which is back over in Bootstrap, we're going to grab a button. Particularly, I think I'm going to grab this block level button right here. Let's go ahead and drop this button into here, in which case we just need those and that. All right, sounds good. So now we have a block level button, and what we're going to say in this block level button is watch a random video now. Pretty simple. Now we need to wrap this in an A, okay, because we're going to do some linking. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to say just like that. It's going to be wrapped around the button. We need to close it down here. And then I'm also going to add a line break and a horizontal rule. Let's keep things classy. Now in the href, oh, speaking of which, I really think I'm going to target it to a new page too. Underscore blank. All right. So we can actually steal the href from right here because it already contains what we want. So we can just kind of, you know, mosey on down, and we need to take everything in between the parentheses right here. And we can mosey on back up and put it right here in our href. Now, why does this work? Because this is building the watch page with the vid and the OID that we set in previous videos. It's actually, I'm grabbing them, but the problem is it's using cur post, which is the wrong call. We're actually under each post right now, and I'll show you why that matters. I'll explain that right now. So each post is how we're cycling through all the posts and making them as each post. When we stole that code from below, they were being circled do while, and it was cur post. I was getting a post based on its ID. So I was like particularly getting that post. That's why I could use that variable. But up here, we're gathering the same exact information, but we're cycling them automatically through a for each. So we just need to change it to each post. So it's referring to the current post being cycled. Okay, so here's a pretty simple thing. We just created a couple of variables, one that generates a random number between 0 and the numvids. Numvids is, we already gathered the count for other functions in this, so we could just use it again instead of redundantly making another count variable. So we have, like, say 26. It's going to cycle through each of these as it's going through the post. If it equals 26, which is equal to our randomizer, it creates random video as a clickable link. Now, and button. Well, now all we have to do is this. Down here below, before this is the if statement that gets ready to output these 6 blocks, these blocks of 6. And regardless of which method it does, I want to be able to output a block, a form. Output our new random watch button. Easy enough. So let's just say echo. And guess what we're echoing? Random video. That's it, because it contains our A, our href, our new line, all that stuff. Let's take a look at the monster we created and see if it's what we think. Looks like it's got it. Now, one thing is I did a block level full width button, but my theme is kind of overriding it. Speaking of which, I just want to put a center on this. I know that center is like such a deprecated thing and most people don't even use it anymore, but it's such a quick and dirty way to just center stuff when you want it centered, honestly. All right, so check this out. Look at the bottom left corner. Look at the bottom left corner. Look at it. So it says vid, has an ID, OID 481. See that? 481. So if we click that, it should open a random tab that contains some information. And there's our Michelin tire commercial from our previous stuff. There's some other most recent videos, although it doesn't have that most recent truck because this isn't using that same code. We need to update that. Skip, and now we have the video that was contained at that ID in our database. So it wasn't just like the most recent or whatever. So let's refresh the page again. That was OID 481. Should equal something different now. 482. Now we have 482. Let's do it again. It's really interesting there'd be 482. 446. So as you can see, it's actually choosing totally different stuff. Let's change the advertiser settings down to 1 second so I can immediately skip the ad. Speaking of which, we need to create a slider for turning on and off the ads, period. There's a few things I really want to update in this. So we can just skip the ad right away. Okay, so as you can see, it's picking up on exactly what we wanted, which is it's picking up on the most recent videos. I was just going to check that out. See, that's 449 with the A2 whatever. 449 with the A2 whatever. See that? So it randomly selected a video from our list, and now the user can just randomly select a video to watch if they feel like it. That's pretty cool. So it'll go through our database and cycle through. Hey, I think that was it, guys. Pretty simple, right? That was a pretty easy video for how to cycle or how to tap in on the database where it's already cycling and make a random watch video button. If we wanted to make this a short code, we really could too. It'd be really easy to do that. How would we make it a short code? Well, this video is already over 10 minutes, so I'm not going to go into it, but it'd be really easy to go back to our includes file, to our test here, and to add another short code with a function and just call it like random video or something like that, or like get random video. Then come back here and set up a new function called get random video, and all it has to have is this randomizer code in it. Well, first it has to get all the posts from this post type, then it has to create a variable that has the count. Then it has to do this random number, cycle through until it equals the randomizer, build this, and then echo it. That's it. And you could actually create this as a short code. We might even do that, in fact, so that you can set a watch random video button anywhere in your website. You can just output it anywhere you feel like it. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I know that it's a pretty useful function, and also it might give you some more ideas on stuff you could do beyond it. But hey, I think that's going to wrap us up for this video, guys. If you are getting value out of these videos, just think about subscribing, will you? It's a button, it's one click, and it doesn't cost you anything except for like 5 seconds of time. And if you've already done that, I appreciate it. I'm coming up on 500 subs, and I feel pretty happy about that. And I'm on my milestone to 1,000. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one, where we get started on the next part, which is going to be one of the most difficult in this upcoming series, Milestones, which is multiple channels inclusion. This is going to be great, though. It's going to allow us to, once again, just to reiterate, this is going to become custom posts for channel IDs, and we're going to be able to incorporate videos from multiple channels, like incorporate like 5 different channels, and then this watch page right here is or not the watch page, this videos page is going to have all those channels. And then I'm thinking about it creating a drop down where you can select particular channels to look at and stuff like that. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one, where we get started on all that.